Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today on a cold and overcast day, muggy, still not really summer, even though we're inching our way into June. A day on which I had errands to run, first thing, including a meeting to go to. First thing. So I went out, and it was no sooner than 15 seconds before I was literally surrounded on all sides by gibbering crazy people. And I don't mean crazy as in, oh my God, are you wearing those shoes on the subway? You're wearing those pants in public? But I mean drooling, eyes up in the head, completely unaware of their surroundings, unmedicated, crazy people. Dozens of them, everywhere. To the point where, when I was done with that brief morning of errands, I felt like I needed some sort of chemical bath to disinfect myself, and it has determined me to put a car service app back on my phone. Lyft will probably be the one I'll use just because I'm familiar with it. I had such an app on my phone, and I took advantage of it. They are remarkably liberating for somebody like me who doesn't drive, and who isn't particularly fond of normal taxi cabs. But I took it off my phone when the pandemic roared into existence in early 2020, because not only did that seem like just the dumbest thing in the world to do, lock yourself in a car with a stranger for a ride of indeterminate length, but also because it was around then that articles started coming out about how unsafe these services are, or about, not just horror stories about drivers bringing people to abandoned lots under bridges in order to have them robbed, but also just that the services themselves are unsafe. That yes, you're getting a bargain and usually more courtesy than a normal check cab. But it's a lot less institutional accountability, too, if something goes wrong. If, God forbid, you're in an accident in a lift, you have a lot less to grab onto in terms of legal recompense. It was a whole mix of reasons why I got them off, but by the time I came back today, I was thinking, okay, using a subway in Boston should be an emergency procedure. It shouldn't be the normal way to do things. Not if they're like this. Not if you've got people literally pawing at the walls. So, we'll see if that resolve holds. I don't really go all that many places, so it may be that it's not necessary. But when I got back, I came back to mail. We have a couple of periodicals and a couple of packages. The first periodical is an old-fashioned literary review, a literary review journal. This is Raritan. Some of you will know this is Raritan Review. This is now a quarterly review journal that has long, ruminative articles, artwork, poems, reviews. It's a staple, and I have read it on and off. There's hardly an issue of Raritan Review that really knocks my socks off. But then again, as I know perfectly well, since I did it for 10 years, putting together an anthology like this is a matter of finding good stuff, vetting it, running it, that sort of thing. You're not going to make an all-star cast of characters every single issue. I always find something in it that's good. There's a long article in here on King Lear that will probably be good if nothing else is, but we'll see. We'll see. And then the other periodical I got is The New Yorker, and the cover this time around is simple, but I'm not going to mock it because it's a necessary simplicity. It's this. It's Little Children's Chalk Outlines, and the title of it is Uvalde, because this is meant to commemorate the murder of 19 children and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas. There wasn't time before going to press for the New Yorker to update this, to maybe make this a cover that commemorates all the other people who have died since Uvalde, Texas, all the other mass shootings that have happened since then. But the issue will have plenty of stuff in it, one way or the other. I forget. Let's see what the books are. Oh, right. Hilton Owls reviews the new collection of Tom Gunn's letters, which I've seen reviewed in a number of places. And when I was looking at the table of contents, the description for the next thing, Thomas Mallon, who's really talented, and he's not talented as his historical fiction, but he's a really talented author and a good reviewer. And I read this description of the table of contents, and it just took me back a minute. He reviews the new biography of Barbara Pym. But the one little line in the table of contents to advertise the piece is Tales of the Spinster Novelist Barbara Pym. And Thomas Malin didn't write that, of course, but whoever did write that in the offices of the New Yorker, I guarantee you would object. I guarantee you, first of all, it was a man who wrote it, and I guarantee you that whoever wrote it, man or female, would object to a tagline for a review of, let's say, a new Library of America volume of John Updike or Philip Roth that described them, giving the only description of them as the philandering novelist Philip Roth. If you did that for Philip Roth or Norman Mailer or whoever, everyone would look at that and say, oh, well, he was a lot more than just a philanderer. I mean, is that the adjective you want to use? The only adjective you're going to use? But when it comes to Barbara Pym, no, we might as well use that. Might as well just call her a spinster. Anyway, the articles, those two pieces, regardless of their taglines, will almost certainly be good. But then we have packages. And one of the packages, the one we'll save for the end, strikes me as a violation of rule number 1. let's do the ones that aren't first. The ones that look like they are from publishers. Publishers can send me as many books as they want. What is this first one? It's a finished copy of something. Oh, okay. I think we saw this already. But a lot of you are new here, so we'll go over it again. I don't need your mother's recipe for bouillabaisse. I just need this. This is okay. I can block the bean, right? Because she's laying on her pillow, looking at her kingdom. She's surveying her kingdom. And every once in a while, she turns her head around, taps me on the shoulder, and we go out to walk around in her kingdom. Oh, no, there you are. So I can't block her. We went on just such a tour of the kingdom just this afternoon, and ran across an adorable little dog. Oh my God. Well, he wasn't little. He's much bigger than Frida, but he was one of those incredibly gentle souls. Big fluffy tail, weird tricolored face, just a gorgeous boy who was so gentle. And Frida doesn't have a problem with you if you're like that. As long as you know your place, she's not going to scream at you. Instead, she's going to just sort of quiver around you as she examines you. And if you put up with that, as if it was her right to do that, you'll get no trouble from her. Whether you're a dog or a human, you'll get no trouble from her. And he didn't, after a minute, he realized, oh my God, I don't know what this thing is. But after a minute, he also realized what I was. And I was squatting right down next to him, and he sort of oozed his head back, and we were face smooching, and he was licking me. It was just adorable. Just adorable. Not as adorable as you, baby bee. But in a different kind of way. So anyway, this book is by Don Lee. It is a collection of stories called The Partition. This is the finished copy. We saw this earlier on this channel. This is the author's return to short fiction after, I think, if I remember correctly, quite a while. Okay, well, the publication sheet gives me a long quote from Jennifer Egan. If I cared what Jennifer Egan thought about this or anything else, I might be interested. Lee's 9 novelistic stories contained within this collection span decades and cities across the world, incisively examining the universal questions posed by heartbreak, identity, family, and relationships. Okay, I'm not seeing anything to indicate that this is the author's long-time return to short fiction. I could swear that I remember that, but I guess I'm not gonna tell here. But that's all right. It's a cute little thing. It's a nice form factor. It's tiny. I wonder if it's less expensive. The hardcover does not have a price tag on it. Okay, all right. Well, it's an advanced reading copy, says so, so maybe that's it. I'm pretty sure your hardcover will have a price tag on it. I don't want to leave that to bookstores. No price tag listed here. And also, no date? Oh, no, yes, a date. May the 10th. So this is a month late getting to me. I have the advanced copy. I think the advanced copy also came to me a trifle on the late side. But that's all right. Short stories, I never got around to the advanced copy, so I will gobble this up tonight. Another example of where the mail haul adds to the TBR. Then this next one is light as a feather, suspiciously so, but I think it comes from a publisher. It's a weird mail haul. What have we got here? What? Okay, it does come from a publisher. Ornithopter Press. Nice call out to Dune there. What have we got here, though? I mean, what is this? A piece of cardboard. We'll save that. That can be made into bookmarks. But the thing itself is wrapped and taped. And what? It's a very. I know, baby. I know. It's confusing. What is that? It's probably a slim volume of poetry for all this trouble. It's probably what it is. Let's see. Okay, this is by Kate Colby, and it's called Reverse Engineer. Requisite hideous American cover. Yes, it is. It's a slim volume of poetry. Okay, so what do we know about this thing then? This comes out. Oh, oh, hello. I wasn't meaning to imply that you aren't friendly. Just not quite the same way. You're not. You're friendly, baby. You're just not gentle. That's all. Oh, you want to get down here? Here, let's get this stuff out of your way. There you go. This comes out in October. So it's 71 pages long. It's $17. Let's see here. In her 9th book of poetry, the author continues her excavation of the unknown. Operating at the junctures of perception and sensation, philosophy and grief, Reverse Engineer explores the deep recesses of human experience where conventional language doesn't quite reach. The deep recesses of human experience are absolutely accessible to conventional language. Thomas Mann did it before he got out of bed every morning. But anyway, Kate Colby's 8 previous books of poetry and prose include I Mean and Dream of the Trenches. She has received awards and fellowships from the Poetry Society of America, Rhode Island's State Council for the Arts, the Dodd Research Center at the University of Connecticut, and Harvard's Woodbury Poetry Room. And she lives in Providence. Okay, great. Fantastic. So this doesn't come out until the end of the year, quite some time from now. 71 pages, so it'll take me, 6.5 seconds to read? But I will savor the poems, just in case. What's the matter, baby? What you doing? Huh? Are you just sitting next to me? Huh? What are you doing? Huh? What's going on? Who are all those people? Huh? Who are all those people? Sometimes she just does this. I don't tell her what to do. So anyway, then we get to the last package. And the last package is from one of you. I recognize the malefactor's name. Which prompts up the usual lecture for those of you who are new to the channel. Rule number 1 on this channel is don't send me a book. I know that I get books in the mail all the time. I know that I talk about books all the time, but I know what I want for books. And I have a huge amount of them coming to me at all times from all sources. So I have ample opportunity to get what I want. I know it's natural, but if you feel the urge to give me a book, the best possible way, there are 2 ways you can do it that will not arouse my ire. One is to call the Brattle Bookshop here in Boston and swear out a store gift certificate in any amount that you want. That happens all the time. People do that all the time. And as you all, if you watch this channel, I go to the Brattle all the time. I haven't gone yet this week, but I guarantee you that I will. I never let a week go by without going. And that way, I can put your generosity to good use. Not only getting books that I am interested in, but making a video about it. And the other way, if you're dead set on giving me a book, is to send me ebooks. If you have ebook files on your computer, send them to me. You can send as many of those as you want. This is a package. This is an actual print book. So let's see what this is. Good gracious, it can't be an American package. I haven't looked at the address. It can't be an American package, or it wouldn't be in this kind of shape. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. One of you contacted me ahead of time and asked for a papal dispensation to send this particular thing, and I gave it willingly. Oh my. This is the Canada trade paperback of Hilary Mantel's Bring Up the Bodies. With that cover design and the French flaps and the deckled edges, I found at the Brattle Bookshop, I found Wolf Hall in exactly this kind of edition and loved working my way through it. I gave it a very slow reread. I carried it with me everywhere, even up to Vermont, and loved the experience. Lovingly annotated. That is my Wolf Hall. I got rid of all my other print copies and just kept that one. And I have put out a bulletin to those of you who live in the snowy north to look for the Canadian trade paperbacks of Bring Up the Bodies and The Mirror and the Light. And this particular sender found Bring Up the Bodies. How wonderful. And this goes right on the the shelf right next. This is a keeper. It goes in the little book room. It goes right next to that copy, that Canadian copy of Wolf Hall. But I'm strongly tempted to give this a nice, slow, pencil in hand read along, or not read along, but read through the way I did Wolf Hall, where I was very intentionally limiting myself to like 10 pages a day, something like that at the most, and really bearing down on the decisions that are being made on the page, really bearing down on the imagery. Maybe this should get that kind of reading. It was certainly satisfying for Wolf Hall. All right, well, this is not then an example of rule number one. This was fully authorized. So thank you very much, the sender. Thank you very much. So we have Hilary Mantel. How are we going to do a book pyramid with the baby right next to me? We have Hilary Mantel, Bring Up the Bodies, in a Canadian trade paperback. So all I have left is the Canadian trade paperback of The Mirror and the Light. Then we have Reverse Engineer, a slim volume of poetry from Kate Colby. We have The Partition by Don Lee, a collection of stories. And we have The New Yorker and Raritan Review. So not a bad mail haul. No nonfiction, but that's all right. I got all nonfiction, a couple of mail hauls recently, so it balances out. So that's the mail for today. I don't think any more mail is coming. I think the biggest thing in my immediate future is a nice long ramble with my baby. But I will wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, Murky.